Hello, everyone. We're live.
When did it start? As a cop, you have to tell me when it started based on that conversation. There's no way. God fucking damn. You know what?
It was only that last couple of seconds. Like your last sentence got through, I think.
This is our goddamn show. I get to ask any listeners that may already or not already be there, when was the last time you got queasy/flued up? I gotta know. And which do you think is worse? That's very important. Because I think queasy is a
PSA for everybody watching, I'm going to be sniffly and coughing.
That's okay.
The entire time.
You got some medication?
I mean, I'm not, like, sick right now.
Am I off to the left more than usual? Metaphorically speaking and literally?
I think politically you're fine, but I mean, I could probably move you over in our system.
I feel like more left to you is fine, politically speaking.
What
I feel
the
like
fuck
I need to get
is
as left as
happening in
possible.
OBS right now? What the hell?
But
what am I doing? I was just trying to move you, and what is happening?
It looks like I'm trying to scoot out of the room.
So this is very bizarre from my view, because on my view, I'm not moving you in the setup area. You're getting moved in the live stream, which you're not supposed to be moving during. Like, I'm supposed to set it up and then change. That's very weird.
What you could do is you could set it up so that I'm wildly moving like that in the stream, but then also have a little animation of you throwing shit at me, because then it would look about appropriate, I think.
Yeah, and I also really like that a couple of the people that I know are listening are not visibly able to see anything because they're driving. So this is very good for them right now.
Speaking of Liz, the car cut out a bit as we were trying to connect to Bluetooth, and Stevenson said about being queasy. So no, now that we have a listener, just to get this out of the way. So do you think being queasy or throwing up is worse? And how recently for either one? I'm gonna combine this all.
I can tell you Liz was last night.
Okay. Can you talk about why or no? That sounded suggestive. Also, Owl's here.
I'll let Liz decide if she wants to get into all the medical things. But
she can tell you in person, probably.
Well, I mean, I was there.
I was in the room where it happened.
Okay, Liz.
Are you two in the same car?
Owl and Liz are in the same car right now.
Queasy's worse. I said it. I agree.
Yeah, no, for me, I fight God every time I feel like I have to throw up. I just won't do it.
I feel like this is another case of you uncharacteristically picking the longer, harder path to no benefit.
Sorry that I'm built different.
Like, this equates to like almost the same as the phone case thing. That's what I'm gonna say.
You know what's really funny that you bring up the phone case. So I did drop my phone for the first time last night, and you want to know something? You wouldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't be able to tell a single bit. I don't get punished, and it was onto asphalt.
Allegedly, for legal reasons, this is a joke. One day I'm going to hit you with a car hard enough that phone is...
No, the phone is going to be perfect. My bones will be broken.
Yeah, the phone's going to be better than it was before. Your bones will have protected it. You're going to like package it up like a baby. You're protecting the baby from getting hit by a car. Sean! For the 15 people that get that reference.
I think you mean Jason.
No, because every time I say Jason, someone corrects me to Sean.
It's heavy rain, right?
It is Heavy Rain, right?
It's Jason.
I'm about ready to leave the room. You're the only person who's ever agreed with me that it's Jason. Everybody says Sean,
I don't remember
and I don't know
who
what it is.
dies, but I know like when you do the yell, he's saying Jason.
Yeah, I feel so like you're not doing anything wrong, clearly. I'm just saying I feel so gaslit by the entire internet because anyone else besides you who I've ever brought this up to, besides where I first heard it from, has said, no, it's Sean.
Well,
Like,
they're
you know, the meme and
wrong.
everything.
It
I
is
guess
Jason.
so. I trust
Finally,
you.
Ethan saw a red balloon heading towards the exit of the mall and across the street. He called out to Jason, who began to cross the street without looking to rejoin his father. Ethan suddenly looked to see a car coming fast down the street, unaware. Ethan jumped out in an attempt to save his son, and both were hit. So yeah, it was Jason. Sean is his other son. That is correct.
Wait, which one was it for the meme? Because like there was
Jason.
like that glitch. It is Jason for the fucking. Okay, all right. I'm just wrong. I'm wrong, and I feel like I'm gonna go.
Well, technically, you were correct first. You got gaslit.
Yes, that's
People
true.
were lying to you.
I'll take that. I'll take that one. They Mandela.
You don't know what we're talking about. So
it.
there's this game, Heavy Rain. It's one of those like cinematic story games, and at the very beginning, your character takes their family to the mall, and Jason gets lost. And while you look for Jason, you're supposed to yell out his name. But if you just mash the button, he'll just keep screaming Jason. And it's really funny. And that's what we're talking about. Anyway,
yeah, I
hi,
don't have the
we're back.
Yeah, we're back. Oh, yeah, by the way, it's been a few.
By the way, it's been another week. We had to take off.
Yeah.
I'm now in Illinois, inching ever closer to taking over your location.
Yeah, you're gonna annex me before Trump does.
Yeah, that's actually my life goal.
I mean, I'd be pretty okay with you doing it. I'm happier in your hands than his. Like that's, like I know this is a bit, but that is unironically true. Like if you did take a political position, I'd way fucking quicker vote for you to be in charge of where I'm at.
Look, I just want to stop the tariffs. That'd be great. End our trade war. That's probably going to turn into a real war. That's going to be fun. You know, having my phone in front of me as a clock isn't as nice when it gives me every notification ever on that said clock.
That makes sense. Well, oh, that reminds me, I gotta put mine on fucking vibrate for the show. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like politically...
I had 5 notifications for fucking calendars.
Right. It sounds like politically, you're not digging underneath the fucking concrete for standards. It sounds like you are some kind of rational adult human being and follow humanism, you know?
I do like not being at war. It's a great thing.
Especially completely unquestionably unnecessary war, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, that's just my stance.
A little extreme, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'm radical in the way that I don't like war.
And you're fucking gnarly.
You know what? I just realized. Let me change the title because it says it's still 4-2. It's 416. There we go. So yeah, I'm in Illinois. I have moved. That's part of why I think I'm a little sick, because new air and allergies because of the.
Yet you're the stronger breed of the two of us.
I'm tough as nails. You know, I don't have to throw up.
Just you, the different air is enough to make you sick, though.
Look, it's allergies. You don't get to choose your allergies.
Okay. Now we don't get to choose.
You don't get to choose your allergies.
Yeah.
Oh, you can absolutely choose if you want to throw up. I do it every time, and I choose no every time.
Anyway, talk about your fucking sickness.
I mean, I'm just like stuffy, whatever. But yeah, so the trip was fun. We ended up doing it, instead of in 2 days, we did it in 3 days, which was, I think, better for everybody. My life packs up surprisingly small, apparently, from what everyone said about the state of the truck we used. It was very empty.
You mean the minimalist? The person who identified as a lesbian for a substantial period of time?
Look, depending on the kind of lesbian, you get very different amounts of bullshit in your house.
That's true. You are not a witch.
Yeah. I'm the tech witch, but speaking of tech, I have a new case. As long-time listeners might remember, I just didn't have a side panel for a long time. I now have a side panel. No. That was in October.
Maybe I just have fucked time. Anyway, please continue.
Yeah, no, my case had been without a side panel since like at least October.
I don't even remember specifically a side panel. I just remember you not wanting a case.
Well, I wanted a case. They just didn't have one at my Best Buy. Anyway, that's a different... Go listen to the other thing. We have a notification.
Yeah.
Stephen Douglas just subscribed. Let's go, Stephen.
Fuck yeah, Stephen Douglas.
Hope you're doing good, Stephen.
We love you, Stephen Douglas. Clip that.
Stephen Douglas, have my firstborn.
Stephen Douglas, you can... Nope, actually, I really don't think I can say
We're gonna lose a subscriber immediately.
I was gonna go as far as you did that time, and I wanted to yes and my way to something worse. And I'm like, I just actually think I can't say that. Yeah.
Maybe Steven for Steve. Steve on Steve love. We love to see it.
You know, we love seeing Adam and Steve.
You know what? You're right. It isn't Adam and Steve. It's Steve and Steven.
Even Steven.
That's what's
this
in
is where
the
they ended up. Where are they now?
The Bible.
I actually just saw Holes again recently. Speaking of Shia LaBeouf.
I need to watch that again.
I realized I hadn't seen it in like more than 15 years and didn't remember more than 10 fucking minutes of it. It's a good movie.
I need
lots of child abuse, but it was on Disney Channel, so you know it's a Disney movie.
What better place for child abuse than the Disney Channel?
Also, you might like Sigourney Weaver in it.
I mean, I know I like the movie. I watched it as a kid, so
yeah. I saw it like a couple times and it never came
anyway,
on again.
I'm in Illinois.
Yes, you are in Illinois, where other movies take place.
Yeah, it's nice up here. I like the office setup, so I don't just have my computer in the same place I sleep now, which is nice. I am still sadly sleeping in the basement. They haven't let me come up to the upper floors yet, but
better soundproofing probably.
Well, it's because like we're looking at a house, and so like I don't want to unpack everything here just to move soon. But yeah, so I got everybody set up with new monitors because I had 3 monitors. I had the 2 I've normally been using, and then this last month I bought a 32-inch display. So then it replaced one of my other ones. And as I've, dug into before, Liz did not have the best monitors. And so now she has one of my old monitors, much better in every way than the one she was using. And the other person that has a computer in the office also
got one of my monitors. Halloween monitor.
Well, there were 2 Spirit Halloween monitors actually, and they were both being used by the 2 other people. Yeah, there were 2, and they were split up between 2 people, and now they have been both replaced.
That sounds like you have a spare Spirit Halloween monitor somewhere.
That sounds like we got 2 spare ones. They're not used.
That sounds like
anywhere now.
That sounds like travel plans for somebody with a red cap on their avatar.
This sounds like perfect like Craigslist ad selling. Get it on eBay at an auction.
This sounds like a really good excuse for me to put on a Groucho Marx costume.
Only one was Spirit? What? They look exactly the same.
You mean that it's not a prolifically common thing to have a Spirit Halloween monitor to the point where you'd have 2?
Well, okay. Whatever. They're not both Spirit. They both sucked. That's the moral of the story. So yeah, I'm set up on one of their other desks. I just have the 1 monitor now, which is weird to go back to 1 monitor, but I like it. I like the setup. I mean, I obviously love living here, love living with Liz, and everybody else here.
Mm-hmm. I love that you live there as well. I have very little change in interaction, but it's like, I love that you guys are happy.
The only change is me, where this show now starts an hour earlier in my day.
Like, the only change is, well, oh yeah, I guess it would. Yeah, the only change is like, now the other people are more convenient in terms of if I for some reason wanted to contact them, like I just go, oh, they're in the same place as my good friend here, Ashley.
Yeah. Good friend, you could shorten that, the acronize. Well, maybe not. That doesn't work.
Someone else has already got that covered. I don't need to spell.
Yeah. But yeah, things have been pretty good. They live very different lives to me, and nothing was more clear when I had to in a panic, because I can't get used to how they do the washing of the dishes with brushes instead of a sponge. Sorry, all of your shit's getting outed, because this is what my life has been this last week, so I have to share it on this show.
I want to say, I know that I wash dishes with a sponge, but so for that reason, I actually didn't know that, like, post 1976 people were washing dishes with a brush. I don't disapprove, but the last place I saw that was a Harry Potter movie. And so
there's like 4 different hand brushes on the sink.
Into it.
And like, it's nice if something's like really stuck on. Though the fact, like, they also like do the bar dish soap, so if you want liquid dish soap, you have to like reconstitute it into a liquid, and I'm just like, no, I'm getting Dawn. I'm sorry, that shit cleans like, ducks. I'm getting Dawn.
Though, I mean, I will say for most things I default to bar soap. I think really only for washing dishes and similar applications I use liquid soap, but it's like everywhere else, bars.
It's more eco-friendly. Dawn washes ducks. That's the most eco-friendly.
They're part of eco. You tell that to the ducks.
Fine, I'll go get the oil back on them. Anyway.
just like you start getting like a fucking dip in your lower lip, or you're just spitting it like a cowboy at the ducks, but it's oil.
For this last, like, it hasn't even been a week since I've been up here, but like almost a week, like the last few days, like I really tried to get into the mindset, and I can't fucking do it.
You're a stubborn ass person, even with this. Goddamn.
Like, I like it. They also compost, leftover food and things instead of just throwing in the garbage, and I'm gonna get used to that. You see, right in chat. But it's definitely gonna take some time. There's just like a few different things that I'm gonna have to get used to. But I mean, there's also probably gonna be things they're gonna have to get used to with me once I start doing smart home shit. So it's gonna go both ways eventually.
It dawned on me as you were talking, and I was listening, but I started to realize that the only discernible difference between this and you guys having just a healthy meeting in your house of how to manage it is that now I get to just say what's on my mind about it and give my 2 cents on a place I don't have to live, and also it's going permanently out to the internet for anybody to hear.
Yeah, I think when next time we do a family meeting, we're just gonna call you.
Yeah. You gotta hear my my inconsequential. No, what's the word? It's inconsequential to me. I have to give my 2 cents on something that will not affect me. I sound like a politician now.
Well, that's how it all starts.
Yeah. Yeah, how is like do they already have smart home shit? Like a Google whatever? Or...
No. So I'm basically going to be setting it up ground up.
That makes sense.
And we're not doing it where we are now because, again, house stuff. So we're going to get it set up at the new house when we get it. But yeah, that's going to be decked out. That house. I cannot wait. Because I think the way that we're doing it, And I mean, if I'm about to say too much, let me know in chat. But like, there's
They'll
a
know 7 seconds in advance.
a credit we're gonna get through, I think, the security company, the house security company that we're gonna go with. They're gonna give us X amount of money to get Google Home, smart home stuff. And it's not an insignificant chunk of change, so it's gonna be very good.
Wait, what company's giving you that money? Sorry, my brain glossed over just that.
The security, the house security people.
That I
Because I
didn't
think
know
like
that
the
was
cameras
a
and
thing.
stuff are gonna be Google brand.
I really like it makes sense to me, like if I think about it, but wow, I just so supremely did not know that would even be a thing that would be accounted for in any security or insurance thing. Like just, oh yeah, we'll give you a smart home budget. I fully thought that was like a, consumer end. Oh, if you want that, you fucking do it yourself and entirely manage it, sort of thing.
Yeah. So yeah, we're thinking obviously like Google does smart like gas and smoke detectors. So we're gonna get that. A bunch of those for around the house. Obviously the Google thermostat. Light bulbs. I don't think Google makes specific light bulbs, but like I'm gonna get them, so whatever, it's
like
gonna
clubs you
happen.
or some shit. Yeah.
And eventually I'm gonna get presence sensing devices so that when it detects somebody leaves a room, it'll turn the lights off so we don't have to think about lights anymore. Because I've definitely been not great about leaving the lights on here, but
That's a thing that I'm like me personally I'm really not sure about, like getting used to, like especially because if you go around to other places and have to, like, I don't know, if you stay at a hotel somewhere and it's like, oh yeah, I have to get out of the thought process if a light is going to turn off when I leave the room. I could be overthinking it, but I tend to rely on just like, oh, if I'm in a different part of the house and I'm like relying on our smart home stuff, then I just go into my phone and go, oh yeah, I forgot, name of the fucking light, if you could turn it off please.
Oh yeah, that's why like it's going to be attached to physical switches, and once the presence sensing comes up, obviously it'll just know when you fucking leave and turn them off after a certain amount of time.
I just like having active control over it, even if I do it too late. Like if I don't want to go back down, back wherever,
Yeah. I mean, that's always
Yeah.
going to be an option too, but
Yeah.
I like it not for the entire house probably, but like hallways that are like where the bedrooms come out. If somebody comes out of their bedroom, the hallway light turns on, stuff like that.
I don't know exactly.
And depending
where my
on the
fucking line
time,
is.
it'd be dimmer and brighter.
Yeah.
Turning it on.
I just don't. I don't totally specifically know what my like. Where my line is for comfort with automation, because there's stuff that's like just exciting and futuristic and fun and practical to me, and then there's stuff that's like, I don't know if you should touch that. I don't know if that's good for it. Like one that's just weirdly ringing off alarm bells in my head is you leave a room and automatically the light turns off.
Yeah. Why do you not like that?
Like, I'm trying to figure it out, because it's like, if it's based on like time, I think I feel differently. But if it's like,
it wouldn't be like the instant it doesn't see you.
That's not as much what I'm worried. Like, I'm not worried about the lack of convenience. I think really it is just like an exaggerated worry of like getting someone too accustomed to like, oh, you're removing this worry from your home that you're again gonna have in a place that you can't put this system into if you're going around to like a workplace or a fucking hotel or whatever.
Yeah, I will say of the 3 hotels we stayed at for the trip, all of them had motion sensing lights.
Really? I've never
Yeah,
seen
some
a
of
hotel
them
with
didn't work very well, but that is the idea. I think some of them you have to turn it on first and then it kind of goes for the rest of the day. But I know the bathrooms did for a couple of them. Like you just go into the bathroom and the light turns on.
That's so Okay, I'm not. That's not a bad like. That's so. It's like I think that's cool. I've just never like happened to encounter that anytime I've been to a hotel.
Yeah. One thing that I liked from one of the automation videos I looked at was you can buy a pressure sensitive mat that when it gets an X amount of whatever pressure on top of it, it'll run an automation. And the way that this person used it was at the mat in front of their kitchen sink, and it turns the light above them on full blast, because obviously if you're standing at the sink you probably want to see what you're doing at the sink. I think that's just fucking cool.
I want to figure out why that sounds awesome to me for everything and not the motion sense. Maybe it's motion sensing I don't like. Maybe I just want it to be a button-esque, pressure sensitive, like physical, tactile, you have to interact with a thing. That might be it. Yeah.
What was really cool, they have like this huge, and it is not necessarily going to apply to everybody obviously, but they have this huge kind of living space. So it's like the kitchen, and then without a wall, the dining room, and then without a wall, the kind of living room TV area. And so with one of the motion sensors that they have, it doesn't just detect motion. That's why I keep saying presence sensor, because it not only knows that you're there, it can tell where you are in the room and can change what lights are on depending on where you are.
Getting spoopy.
Well, it doesn't go out into the Wi-Fi. It goes into your own home net, the one that they have. So,
oh, okay.
That's why I'm like, it's not a Google product.
Yeah.
I'm
just, yeah.
I like that because like the idea I like most about that isn't like this huge room of like, oh hey, the dining room lights come on when you're at the dining table or whatever. That's whatever. Can this thing detect ghosts?
That's a good point. If you believe in ghosts, that's an excellent point.
You know, I'll keep my feelings on that different. But anyway,
but staying in secular territory, I do have to ask. Okay, I acknowledge this is not something of a practical necessity, but just of a it's nice territory. It's like if I have to automatically, sorry, if I have to myself manually activate certain lights that I want in the room for different uses, then if those lights aren't on and I'm in that part of the room, you can kind of get a dramatic lack of artificial light. And I wonder if you can still get that from the automated system or not. It's just fun to walk around in that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, the way that this guy has it set up, you can set certain times that things will happen or won't happen. And if you manually do a thing, like the lights go on and off depending on whatever automation. But if you actually hit the light switch, it knows that you did that manually and takes that as a hint to be like, hey, don't fuck with the lights today. And it'll stop automation for the day.
For the day. Okay, I thought maybe if you had to go back into the room, like maybe it would work as long as you're in the room, you come back in the room, it resets to automatic. That's fascinating.
Yeah, it'll be like, hey, don't fuck with this light for the rest of the day. They manually did something.
I can see that being good for home repairs as well. It's like you don't have to just keep fucking doing the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, ghosts can be secular. That's for another day. The owl, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Maybe I have a misunderstanding of secular.
Yeah, and another cool thing that I'm sure some people are thinking of, like, oh, does it sense, you know, pets and stuff and things go off just because pets are in the room? It does sense pets, and with the knowledge that they are just a pet and will not activate automation unless you tell it to also do automation for the pet.
Please scare the shit out of my pets. They need to be kept in line.
When they go into the bathroom, play a loud sound and flash the lights.
Just like a sound you never play, like a song you never put on. Yeah.
But yeah, I like, you know, stuff like that. That's just like, especially the sync one. I think that one's probably the most beneficial of all of them. If you're standing at the sink, the lights come on.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So you can see what you're doing. Oh yeah, another thing. So the different sections of the room, lights come on when you pass through them, whatever. That's cool. I'm not super into trying to figure out how to make that work. The thing
Mm.
I like is because it can tell where you are with a reasonable level of accuracy. Depending on maybe which chair you sit in your office space, a different light will come on. So if you just sit at your workspace chair, the lights will come on for you, and when you leave they turn off, and it doesn't have to fuck with any of the other lights in the room. And it can detect multiple people, so it'll do it. I think it's up to like 4 people it can detect at once.
So hold on, wait, so can you set it to like not just activate lights, but like activate automated stuff for other, like, you know how,
Oh yeah, do
for instance,
any
like,
automation. Yeah,
do any automation? Because like, hold on,
these are just the ones I think
I
of. These are the ones I want. Is like, oh hey, my lights come on when I go sit at my desk or whatever, or when I leave my desk the lights turn off, or I get over where the bed is and the lights dim, you know.
Yeah, because for those with Spotify and who are in the Ashleyverse Discord server, I'm gonna put in the thought bubble chat something that I would automate for when I'm just sitting at my desk. Just, I mean, why not? Just go for it. Why not at that point? It's just a little sweet thing.
Let me look. Yeah, that makes sense.
Just like it's a like 30-second song, and it just gives you a little dopamine hit. Go ahead. Yeah, it's a studio fanfare for those who don't know. Very specific one.
Turn on your coffee machine, juicer, meat grinder.
I love the idea of one of you coming back from vacation that the other, like, that at least one other person was not on, and like the person who was still there leaves the house for when they're coming back, but like you set the automation so that just a bunch of like haunted sounding shit happens, like, yeah, coffee machine, juicer, meat grinder, fucking lights flicker and shit for when they open
I
the
would
door.
definitely be someone to do that.
It's a really fun idea.
Oh, just you wait, Owl, for when I get a home sound system set up. And so somebody could just start playing a song at any time
Now,
around the house.
Are you the kind of person that more just cares about the convenience, or is it like you want to get good speakers for the house if you can?
I would like to get good speakers. Like, I don't know how much any of us are going to care to actually use this kind of system. And I'm not going to like deck out like ceiling, speakers or whatever. But like those wireless Sonos speakers that just like put one in every room or whatever.
Yeah, because with like
I
some
also
Halloween
just like
motherfuckers.
oh hey, send a message to the house, and it just says it everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, that's some good shit. I know the Google Home devices can do that, or Google Nest, whatever the name is. You know what I'm talking about. I know that if you got people in there who really love fantastical gothic appeal, or you could do this for Christmas, with a different thematic resonance with the Polar Express soundtrack. Have at it. Go have fun. Then you could put on like, because I did a version of this with just like a blasted Google Home Mini last Halloween for the kids trick-or-treating. If you're already setting up a smart home system with like various speakers around the house, potentially, and they're of like decent quality, like let's say for the month of October, for certain things happening, or maybe just for Halloween, certain Beetlejuice soundtrack cues, like just Danny Elfman here and there, like Nightmare Before Christmas, like that. Like if you love that kind of stuff, I can really see that working out with automated systems, and I love that so much.
But yeah, I mean, obviously other kind of smart home things. The doorbell, smart doorbell with a camera. Love it. I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously the camera system, we're gonna have access to it. Yeah, just a bunch of stuff that I really like. I really like getting into bed and not having to get back up to turn off the lights. I cannot tell you how nice of a quality of life boost that gives.
How do you force yourself out of bed then, though? Like, do you have any, like, is that a necessity for you to do?
I mean, I don't necessarily have to force myself out of bed. I get up when
Okay.
The forcing out of bed is that I have a job.
Well, yeah, but like, like there's a lot of people who struggle with that to the point where they're like, consistently late, like out of their control. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could have your phone not next to you in bed and like in a way that it's not going to be able to hear you, and have the lights automatically turn on at the beginning of the morning to kind of like give you those lights to wake up to.
Yeah.
That's what I've done. I have done like an hour before I have to like really get up and go, I have my lights turned on.
Also, Owl, I have no qualms in the universe about giving Liz ideas. This is not something that you can stop me from so long as you let Ashley record this.
See, and they're not even in the house right now. They can't stop me from doing anything.
I am not beholden to you. I am only of help or of hindrance, depending on how you use my advice.
Phone not next to you is good sleep hygiene. Yeah, I definitely don't have my phones next to me.
God, I will fully admit there are times when I just like, because I'm exhausted and I have like a squared away section of time where like I want to catch up on something or whatever, I'll straight up bring the headset to bed. It's a bad idea, definitively, and I will not defend it, but it is a thing that I do on occasion. It's not every time though.
Yeah, I mean, I literally have two phones right now, so I have my two phones next to me and my iPad.
Yeah.
In bed.
You're recording this on your bed.
Yeah, actually.
Are you?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, I couldn't tell how serious you were at that point.
No, this is the setup where I can't do that because it's not near my bed anymore. I mean, before, the last few months of us doing this show, my bed would literally be right behind me. I could back up and hit it. But now it's 2 flights of stairs, so if I back up and hit it, I've really fucked myself up somehow.
There's gonna be like an April 1st episode of the Thought Bubble at some point where Ashley is just gonna like, she's gonna have her setup, whatever, at the like near the top of the stairs. So if she backs up enough, like you just hear a Peter Griffin clip playing.
Yeah, it's a normal show for about 5 minutes, and then it's just noises of me falling down the stairs for another hour.
I thought you were gonna say it starts off with like a normal amount of falling down the stairs sounds, and then we get back to absolutely not acknowledging it and going back to normal. I thought that or it ending with the sounds of you falling down the stairs would have been a good idea. Either one of those. That works too, though.
So yeah, what else was I going to talk about for this show? Oh yes, I'm using a different launcher for my Android phone again. Don't mind that you just heard TikTok. No, this one is on the Google Play Store, and it is the Smart Launcher.
Smart Launcher.
And I actually really like it. I think it does a lot of the things that I like from iPhone. It also has a decent calendar widget within the launcher itself. I still would rather have a Fantastical experience. But it's
shaking as you say that.
It's probably not going to be permanent because it's the Google Calendar integration, and I want to use Daybridge, but Daybridge does not have a widget on Android now, so I have to wait until they give me a widget.
I'm looking at this and I'm kind of tempted to try. There's a lot of stuff where like obviously you and I do not intersect in terms of taste, and that's just a thing, but I can see I don't know if this is going to be permanent because it feels like a nice gimmick, but I don't know if it'd be sustainable for my life. But I do like how intentional it makes the whole thing feel, because most phone launchers, especially on Android, Like, it's more, hey, your shit is fitting within this practical system, but you could have anything in there. Whereas this feels like part of the reason why I changed my start menu on Windows, just the layout of it. It's like, I like when stuff feels like the whole thing. I like when software and operating systems feel like this, from the operating system level up, was made intentionally for the person using it. When you can have that level of customizability, hence, of course, the Vivaldi love as well from episodes past. But yeah, that is a beautiful, gorgeous screenshot. You're tempting the hell out of me right now.
Yeah. So
I'm considering it.
Wait, is that okay? I might need to reset some of my things, but because I think the widget is supposed to be material U as well, whatever the fuck that is. So I don't think it's supposed to be that color anymore, but I can fiddle with that. But yeah, so swipe down on home screen is still search. That is a requirement for any launcher for me now.
Okay.
If only because like I swap between my iPhone and the Android all the time, and I want the base usability to be the same. So yeah, swipe down to search. I also like this more than Cavasitso that I was using prior, because it tells you kind of like, oh, you're looking up TI, and I'm going to give you the more of the ones you use more instead of just giving you the alphabetical search. So it's like, oh, it knows that if I type just even T, which I don't think should bring up, yeah, it gives me something I'm trying to do it. Yeah, so I type W and it gives me Wiz, which is the software I use for my lights right now, instead of something like Wallet or Walmart, because it knows I've used it more recently.
I see.
Which I like. That Cavasitso I don't think did that.
This launcher, big question. It feels like it is a more cohesive and like flowing, like active use kind of launcher, but I'm wondering, does it have anywhere near the level of customization to where you can change how it works and feels? Like, I'm not gonna hold it to the Nova standard, just like I didn't hold Zen to the Vivaldi standard in that regard, but like, does it even approach it like halfway?
So in my use case, where I just want like a couple widgets in specific places on my home screen, it beats out Nova. And here's why: you can put the widgets wherever the fuck you want. You do not have to keep them on the grid.
Okay.
And so that's why in my screenshot, like if I wanted these two widgets, the time and my weather, and also it's a stacked widget, so it's also my calendar. If I wanted those to be how it is on the grid, it would leave a lot of empty space at the top. So I just put the clock as high up as I could on the grid, and then you can go in and scoot it up to give more room on the screen for another widget to come up. Now, while not making it the smaller version of the widget.
If you're not adhering to the grid, then does it still have like guidelines to center things that you can adhere to? Because that's my main issue with gridless stuff.
You put it on the grid first, and then when you move it where you want, it is by like, I don't want to say it's by pixel, I don't know how it's doing it, but it is, you tap it, and so it goes up, down, left, or right exactly.
Okay.
So like it isn't the Android grid, it is still a grid, but it's just much more fine control.
Is wanting to customize things to this degree its own kind of hobby? I do think so, Owl. I would argue that. I haven't thought of it that way.
It is why I got rid of Android for a little bit. Originally, the reason was just I was over the ads and my notifications from Samsung. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to do iPhone. And the lack of customizability was an actual positive, because it meant I spent less time doing all of this bullshit. And I've tried to keep myself from doing it too much on the Android again. I'm doing it a little bit, wasting a little bit of my time, but I think I have it where I want it right now, and I'm probably not going to touch it for a while unless for some reason another launcher comes around that's even better, whatever. The only issue I have with Smart Launcher is the swipe down. It takes too long to get my keyboard up. It gives it another like half a second, quarter second, and it's just not fast enough for me. But otherwise, I really like it. If I swipe to the left of the home screen, it's an RSS feed, which I really like. The thing I really like about their RSS feed is things that are similar, they group together. So I have this one from 3 hours ago saying that Spotify is down apparently 3 hours ago, and it is kind of scrunched in. So that's from The Verge. And under it is a similar one from also 3 hours ago because it was down at the same time, but from 9 to 5 Mac, saying that Spotify is down. So it kind of knows like, hey, these things are similar. Let's put them together. I have Games Radar talking about the Mario Kart World Direct. Is that today or tomorrow? I think it's tomorrow.
Yeah. If I have if I switch to this, what I'm probably going to do for the RSS, because I'm excited about that, is I'm probably going to like see if I could just like do a mass copy of my Vivaldi saved RSS feeds and copy it over here. Yeah, if I could do that, because this does not negate usage of Vivaldi by any stretch, especially because I don't think the Vivaldi mobile app has this function, but I think it could marry the two functions quite well. But I will say, before I forget to say this, against the point of like rabid customization being a hobby, at least the way that I think about it, it tends to be like I want as much customization as absolutely possible, as cohesively as possible, but per piece of software or operating system, until I'm like in another whole habit set or phase of my life, I do not want to have to do anything to customize it further. Maybe a little tweak here and there once every like few months, maybe a couple weeks, but like nothing big. Like for me, an elaborate amount of customization is so that I don't have to touch it again, because I feel like stuff with simpler customization, I'm like, I guess I'll be adjusting this for different things that I want, and when like more customization would allow me to match more in one go in a way that's hard to describe. But yeah, so it's part of why, so that I don't have to do it. And with a hobby, I tend to think that's something somebody enjoys just for the sake of doing it. I'm just excited to get it out of the way and to have everything possible for that time. But yeah, so I'm excited to at least try it. I am confused when you said you could put it wherever you want, but you're clicking it space to space, which sounds like a grid, but I'll be testing it out anyway, and I'll probably come back with that next week.
Fine grid.
Oh, okay.
It's just fine positioning, and so you can, pardon me, I'm snotty.
It would aggravate the fuck out of me if it was just hovering, so that I could always tell something was a little too much to the left or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like a few pixels you can move it by. I don't think it's every pixel, but... And I mean, the fact that it centers itself automatically on the Android grid, and then you can just move it directly up. You don't have to swipe it up. You just click the button to move it up. I think that's good. And that's how I have the two widgets so close to each other, because otherwise there'd be this huge gap between them that I don't like.
Yeah, that looks super pretty. Is that a background you chose?
I think it's part of the Android suite, or maybe it's Smart Widget or Smart Home. The Smart Launcher thing, I don't really know.
But you can choose it, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I did choose it.
Okay, because I really, really like my phone background. I just, yeah, I've got a lot of compliments on it, in fact. But yeah, I'm keen on switching at least temporarily. Oh, shit, right. I can't forget this before going... With the last time I was tempted to switch over to another launcher on here, I still haven't checked if Nova allows exporting of your settings presets, because if I come back to Nova, I don't want to have to do all this shit again. And I like where it is, so I'm going to check that out. It does? Okay, good.
It does. I mean, when I downloaded Nova through my account, it kind of remembered what I wanted.
Ooh, good.
So, okay. I think there's some level of cloud saving.
Good.
But yeah, so in that second screenshot that I've sent of the RSS feed,
This is beautiful.
you can see that like, oh hey, there's the games radar, and then there's Nintendo everything, and then my Nintendo news next to it underneath. Oh my gosh, I'm so snotty.
Bless you. But I like that this looks as pretty in UI as the fucking Google News thing. That's on a lot of like base phone launchers. I like that it looks as pretty as that, but is probably more reliable because like you actually choose specifically inherently what's there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I just have on a secondary screen the same widgets that I have on my home screen, but separated, so they're not in a stack.
Where the fuck do you find shit like this, by the way? Because like at this point, I'm finding out about a lot of my software upgrades from, or at least my tastings from like you just bringing it to the podcast. And so I'm like, where did you find out about this?
I usually just look up best Android launchers into YouTube.
Oh wow.
And watch a bunch of videos.
YouTube of all things. Yeah, okay.
Look, here's why I do YouTube. They are better than a lot of the collection websites for like an article. Because the article is filled with ads, that's horrible, it barely fucking works. But YouTube, a lot of them are
AI generated. Yeah,
YouTube, a lot of times people will have their stuff segmented with the in YouTube segmentation. Thought Bubble is a tech recommendation show, kind of, apparently.
I'm keen on it.
And so like I'll click the chapters of the video and then read what the chapters are, and like if I've seen it before, I'll just skip it and just go really quickly through a bunch of different videos within like 20-25 minutes.
Yeah.
That's how I found
that kind of stuff I watch at
Cavasitso, is just I was watching a video of just like, oh hey, here's some really cool Android apps, and that launcher just happened to be one of the ones they were showing off.
Also, with Owl saying Thought Bubble is the tech recommendation show, I had the thought of like, for instance, like if at some point we had just like a much larger viewer base, and we like I don't know, we're invited to a con at some point, like hypothetically, and like they had to categorize us somewhere, and so they'd put us under like tech, like in a I guess this is the best one kind of fucking kind of choice. Like new rock stars, when they went to a convention, like I think it's like they had to categorize them as a film critic channel just because they covered movies and they didn't have a slot for that at the time, like in a non-critic-y way. So it's like, I guess we're the tech show. I'd say we're closer to philosophy, but yeah, no, it does land there a lot. Yeah, it just popped in my mind. Little thought bubble.
Yeah, so that's Smart Launcher. I really like it. I like that it themes the icons based on Material You. Tech, but then you start spouting off about port again.
I didn't want to laugh too loud at that while you're explaining. Communism. Yeah.
Oh, another thing Smart Launcher does that I am not really gonna find useful, because that's just not how I use my phone. You can have it sort your apps into folders, kind of like how iPhone does things. And so like, oh hey, here's all your games and game related things. Here's media, so I got Spotify, YouTube Music, Twitch, Google TV. My gallery is in that one. There's utilities, so there's like calendar, weather, Bitwarden is in there. So that's kind of cool. I don't use it because if I want an app, I swipe down and search for it.
Wait, so with the folders, because I do use folders, did you say that that's something that you...
so instead of having an app drawer, it does that.
Yeah. Oh, so it replaces the app drawer, because what I count on with Nova is having an app drawer, but then like for easier access just in the home screen, I have my folders. And I was wondering also if like if that was an automated thing, or if you could, I know this kind of defeats the purpose of smart functionality, but like if you could make your own to where I could defeat the purpose of the smart functionality because I just like it looking
I don't
pretty
know
at
if you
this
can
point.
change it. Let me look.
I
want to
hope
say
you can. Like
you got to be able to.
similarly to the smart home stuff, it's like, you know, it's nice to have the automatic like smart stuff, but then, you know, to be able to have your own fine tweakings to where like the rest of it, the launcher can take the wheel if it wants, but I just want this stuff in concrete. Like I think that's appropriate.
Let me see.
I like the monochrome. That's some good shit.
Oh, you can add a category
good
to the pages that it has. So I presume there is a way to do it. I do not know how to do it right now.
How much am I gonna manual an intended to be automated thing is what we're gonna figure out next time. This is like, where am I going to meet this in the compromise of giving a genuine try to this new piece of software that looks really cool.
I have no idea
also,
how you do it. There's gotta be add shortcut. Okay, no, that's not what I want.
I also want to say, I know it's a joke from Owl in chat, but I actually want to ask you, is there any version of the smart device embedded in your body, like part of your eyeball or whatever, that you like body tech that you actually would want to adopt? Or is that just something that no matter who's in charge of it, no matter how it's built, you think that's too much of an invasion of your body?
Like, I wouldn't want tech in me, to be fair. Maybe like some kind of NFC for something, but like at a fingertip. But sure. I don't know what I use it for.
Yeah, because for me, I would, like, for instance, you know, I like the functionality of a smartwatch where it feels like it's just part of a bodily function of me just turning my arm over and it's right there. But I'd be totally cool with like having, this probably already exists, but like having like a ring to where like that is sort of the idea of the NFC in the tip of the finger, but instead it's just you're essentially knocking on whatever fucking pay thing, and like, you know, maybe you have an arm strap that does the smartwatchy stuff, you know, of you know, blood pressure as well, or that, you know, most smartwatches don't do, you know, stuff like that, and something Google Glass like, but obviously tweaked for, you know, for like a little HUD, for a little HUD, you know, of your shit in the top corner of your view that you can wipe away or not. You know, I do like the idea of body mods. I just don't want it actually changing my actual body. Like, I wouldn't want it carved into my eye, for instance, or replacing my eye. I know that I have people very close to me that, like, if they were in any way okay with Elon Musk, would actually want to try Neuralink. And that's just gargantuanly too far for me. But like being in the fucking brain, I don't care if it's read only. But yeah. I am curious about body mods and people's individual boundaries.
Yeah, no Neuralink.
No Neuralink. We don't want that shit.
All right.
They keep killing their subjects? This is
the monkeys, I think, keep dying.
Yeah. Yeah, we like animals and people, and let's keep those around. That's the only optimistic spin I can give to that. Just, you know, be careful with your body mods. You know, have it emulate your body. Have it wrap. Have it click. Whatever. But don't replace. Don't embed.
All right. So I think we're gonna do the wind down now.
All right. Especially because you sound real like you're having trouble with your sniffles there.
Yeah, my head is kind of hurting now.
Yeah. Take care of yourself.
So, thank you all for listening. I think this was a pretty good one to come back on. I mean, I think we got the quintessential things. We didn't talk calendar apps today, but I mean, sure, soon enough we're Well,
We didn't wander off
did.
into an awkward porn talk either. You know, it's just it didn't happen this time.
The quintessential version of this show is I talk about my calendar apps. I get frustrated at Android.
Smart home, smart home, smart home.
Yeah, what's a quintessential topic for you? You talk about Marvel.
I talk about Marvel for about 10 seconds because you don't have anything to say about it. Like it's like I know where my place is at this point. If I'm talking about something animated, which I actually do have for next week, then yeah, I feel like that's something I can bring in that I'm a super big fan of. But other than that, I just like react to your shit, and then like whatever just happened to miscellaneously come into my attention. That's really it.
All right, so thank you all for coming around. It is now 12:30 for me, 1:30 for other people. It feels weird to be ending it at 12:30 now, but that was our
so
show,
much
I
of your
think.
life ahead of you.
Yeah,
Best
I have the
wishes.
rest
Have a
of the
lovely
fucking
time.
day.
Yeah.